And welcome back to Reactioncast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to bring you another movie review. This time around, we're going to be talking about The Batman, the 2022 installment of a DC film. To be honest, when it comes to DC films recently, it's been a rough ride for DC films. I'll be honest. And I was having high hopes before seeing this film. I saw some of the early, just kind of the early previews, and kind of some of the early reviews and ratings. Not reading or watching any of them, just kind of seeing the numbers. And early on, I was getting like high numbers, so it's like one of those weird hit or miss things for me, because you never know if those high numbers are what they really mean. So going into this film, I went in a little bit more expecting something good, because I really want it to be good, because Batman is one of my favorite heroes, top 5 for sure. And getting a new version this time around, played by Robert Pattinson, and I know a lot of people had some thoughts of him playing Robert Pattinson. I mean, him playing, not himself, playing the Batman. My brother, for sure, he has his own take on how Robert Pattinson is going to be playing Batman. But I can say the least that he did a really good job in this film. It took me a little bit of time for me to get used to him being Bruce Wayne, but his Batman is actually enjoyable on screen. So getting kind of into the film, for anyone who doesn't know, the Batman is a film that surrounds when the Riddler, a sadistic serial killer, begins to murder key political figures in Gotham, and Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family involvement. And that's kind of the base plot, that's the synapse for the film. And for sure, you get the Riddler being this like very Zodiac killer, like maniacal, like very sadistic, very thought-provoking like character, like all the things. This is a very long film, to say the least. It's almost 3 hours long, and I'll be honest, it's a thinking film. Like, if you're not paying attention, you can get lost pretty easily, because there's a lot of plot. And by plot, I mean, it's not like excessive, like you need to know a lot of things. It's just like, for sure, there's a lot that deals with Gotham, and I like that. It really showcases Gotham, builds the world up, and it's a very good way to portray this. It's not really being spoilers to say that this is an early Batman, since it's kind of like the first few minutes he does say this. He's only been doing Batman work for about 2 years, so this is like early Batman, and getting to see how he handles stuff. I like that. And we're also getting a more detective-heavy Batman. I like that. I like what director Matt Reeves did in this story, just doing this early detective Batman. Not I enjoy when we get to see kind of this battle-heavy Batman before. You just see action back and forth. Not to say the least, this doesn't have some good action sequences or chase scenes. But for sure, this is more, because you are going against the Riddler, so you are getting a lot of these more detective riddle breaking stuff, and it's very intense. I like that. And it's one of those films, once again, that you get multiple villains, but the main villain's the Riddler. So how is it going to take when you have kind of like this? And I know they're setting up 2 other TV shows. One based around Commissioner Gordon, I think it's called Gotham PD, and another one based around Penguin, another villain that shows up in this film. So there's so they're setting up this, and I think they did a good job of showcasing just kind of how the world just revolves just mainly of them, even though they're just little bits. You can just see that. And from my understanding, I see that there's 2 more films slated for the Batman, so I'm like, alright, okay, I can see 2 more films. Like, I like this Batman. I like Robert Pattinson's Batman. I like the way they portrayed not only him, the world, and how everyone interacts. For sure, Robert Pattinson takes the role. So we also have Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman, played by Zoe Kravitz, I think that's her name. I do apologize. Like, her character involvement in the movie, like, I can see why her scenes are in there, and her involvement with certain characters. It's a hit or miss. For me, it was like, it was just there, and it was like it didn't really take away from the film, but it didn't really add anything, in my opinion. What I felt what really added to the film was Jeffrey Wright's Lieutenant James Gordon. I really liked him and Ryan Pattinson's interacting with each other. Every time we got to see a scene together, I really liked that, because this is more like a more cooperative Batman and police kind of, even though they kind of get in each other. And then kind of how the way the film goes, the flow of the film. This is what I was worried about when watching a film that's almost getting close to like Endgame out of time. Like, I think it was just short by 5 minutes. But yeah, like I was worried about how the flow of the film will go. I would say that this film, for being at times a little bit slower in like certain build-ups, it's a good payoff. I would say the midpoint is the kind of the bit slower points, with just a couple action sequences in between to kind of get rid of that weird slow pacing. But it builds up to the final act to be a very intense moment, and I think the build up towards that, it makes the film worth it. Because, like I said, it's a little bit more slow, like investigative stuff. So I can understand why the pacing's the way it is. But some of the action sequences and the fighting scenes kind of help to divvy some of these slower pace points. And I was trying to see how they're going to do the Riddler. The Riddler played by Paul Dano, I think that is. I think it's Dano or Dano. I was wondering how it was gonna take to his Riddler, because we usually get these like really goofy Riddlers before, eccentrics. But seeing him play this role and kind of finally seeing him, I was like, okay, like it was like it's not. I'll go into the after credits and kind of give you a little bit more of my full thoughts in the after credits with spoilers. But yeah, it's just like I see what they were trying to do, and I really liked it, and I can see why it's getting high ratings around the board. Is it a perfect film? I don't think so, but it's a very good film. Like when I got there, I kept wanting to know more, wanting to see more, and just wanted to get more out of the film, and see where the films are going to go after this. Like, what is this Batman gonna do moving forward? Without going into anything more, the only thing I'll say, for sure, the other thing I would say the film does well is the score. The score on this makes everything feel very methodical and dark. It feels like Gotham, and I like that. I can't really think of anything else. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a good rating, and go from there. And I'm going to kind of the after credits, because there's a couple things I want to talk about in spoilers. So for the 2022 The Batman, I'm gonna give it, like I said, it's not a perfect film. It's a pretty long film, it's entertaining film, but there are like some things that I like kind of like pulled me away here and there. But for sure, I feel for this film, I'm gonna give this one a solid 9 out of 10. Solid 9 out of 10. I like really liked it. Like, I'm hoping for more from the Robert Pattinson's Batman. I want to see more, and just some of the things that appear like gives me some hope. So yeah, solid 9 out of 10. Let me know what you thought of the Batman. We're gonna be going into the after credits to kind of talk about spoilers. So if you don't want to get spoiled there, then you can kind of end it here. But if you can wait a little bit, you'll be hearing the after credits. So let's go into the after credits. So welcome to the after credits. Let's talk spoilers for sure. So, like I said, like this film has a ton of villains. So, you got your main villain, the Riddler, kind of exposing all the dark undergoings of the political aspects and how corrupt cops. A lot of like real world, like there's like a lot of real world like horrors in this, like just like scaled like to 11, and how the Riddler's trying to expose everyone. And on top of that, you got the Penguin, you got Falcone, and it's just a lot. Just got to see kind of and you get this feeling like throughout the film that like I said, the synopsis is saying like how the Waynes, or Bruce's parents, were like involved and possibly like weren't the good guys. And I was like, oh shit, are they making the Waynes out to be more like corrupted than they normally are? Because usually when portraying the Wayne family, they're usually just like very upstanding philanthropists who like are trying to help the city of Gotham, and throughout the films it's like almost getting to the point where it's like, oh my god, like Bruce's parents weren't in the up and up. They might have been political, like people who are like as corrupt as some of these other politicians and officers and DAs. Like, oh my shit, okay. I was like, oh god. But towards the end, it kind of just like Alfred kind of like alleviates that fear, because this Batman is still trying to do his best to kind of live up to his parents, like being as good as possible. He's only been doing this for like 2 years, and it's hard because the city's rampant. Just even the first couple scenes of just him being this symbol of like fear is crazy good. And just how it's done, for sure, it's kind of the Riddler against these like evils, the corrupted politicians and officers, and then Batman kind of trying to do it. There's like a lot there. There's a lot, to the point where you get towards the end that the Riddler turns to out to be like him, and it's like kind of like this hench, like 4chan and like or 8chan, like crazy like raid heavy. Oh god, the finale where it's almost like there's two things for the finale. The finale where they're at the political campaign after the explosion, and just these like crazed people who feel like Gotham has given up on the people. And I won't blame them. There's times like that in this day and age where people feel that way, but this is like scaled to 11, and it just feels like we're almost to that point. That some places get to that point, and it's like scary. That's why it has like a lot of real world relations, and like, oh shit. To the point when the Riddler, like, once all all the riddles from the Riddler had been deciphered. There's one riddle that we never got, was the maze. I thought they were gonna do something with the maze or something. But anyways, when Batman's talking to the Riddler back in Arkham, and I'm like, oh shit, because they're having this one-on-one, and it's like, oh my god, did the Riddler figure out that Bruce Wayne is the Batman? And I don't blame him. He is a very methodical thinking individual. But no, it's like they just, that's just such a good scene when because it feels, for the most part, the Riddler, in his mind, the Batman was helping him take down all these corrupt politicians, and just like using his resources, like the cops and stuff, to his advantage. But at the end, the Riddler just felt like he got betrayed. It's like, oh, such a wonderful scene. To the point when in Arkham and everything, we get the little, like, I thought, we were trying to figure it out, but it's been confirmed that it is the Joker. There's an actual interview where we get to, from the director, Matt Reeves, that was the Joker talking to the Riddler. And to say the least, like, yeah, these are early Rogues Gallery members. Like, these are just like who they were before you get all this craziness. These are just like the Penguin. He's just a dude who's running a club and doing his best to hide the politicians' wrongdoings. He's not this like mastermind or anything. He's just this guy. So it's like crazy. Like, yeah, getting this, I want to see, like, I'm looking kind of forward to his television show, seeing how he handles, because it looks like from everything I've been seeing, the next wave, the next film is going to be this more of this no man lands, like everyone fighting for power in the city. It's going to be crazy, and I want to see what's going to happen. Me personally, I'm hoping they do like the Batman, just like having his own group against all these other. But it's still a little early. It's like I said, he's been only doing this for 2 years, and probably by the end of the next film, it's been 3. Still early, and we'll see. We don't even know if we'll get the Joker in the next film. But he is in the world. That's what this show tells you. And once again, this film doesn't have like an end credits or mid credits. It has just this little prompt with just a question mark and like, I'll be back or something. Oh, you gotta look it up. But yeah, it's so good, so good. What else? There's nothing really too big. Like, just all the fun puzzles. Seeing how Catwoman was kind of the daughter, like the illegitimate daughter of Falcone, and how she wanted revenge against him. Kind of how that storyline played out. And then the whole interaction with Batman and Catwoman. It was like I said, it was there. Like, could the film not used it? Possibly. Did it really add anything extra? It just, for me, it didn't, like, it was just there. Like, it happened. Like, sure, why not? But it didn't really have any weight to it. I would say that's the best way I can put it. And that's just my opinion on that. It didn't feel like there was actual weight between their relationship. But yeah, kind of really that's it. I kind of have to go like line for line, scene for scene on some of these things, but those are some of the big things I want. Just like were the things that popped up, just how some of the great riddles, the introductions to Riddler, the scene when the identity of Batman was almost revealed. Yeah, it's just so good, so good, so good. Yeah, that's kind of about it. I'll probably do an extended talk if the group, my little podcast movie group, get together and talk more. But yeah, those are my thoughts. If you made it this far, let me know what you guys thought of the film. there should be a prompt if you're on Spotify. There should be a prompt below. Leave it there. And you can always follow me on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, and all that fun jazz. So until next time, see ya.